Hi everyone! So today I want to show you how I made this card. I'm calling it a 5x7 double panel card. I've done a 6x6 version of this a while ago, quite a while ago, but I had a request to do a 5x7, so here it is. So I'm using my Silent Night papers. Now these papers, this is a kit from quite a while ago, a couple of years back maybe, a year or so, no, a year, 2 years, something like that. But I did it as paper pad last year. So these pads are still available on Amazon. The digital kit should still be available on DRK Crafts, but I will also try and make it available in my Ko-fi shop as well as a digital kit. It used to be available on Etsy, but I don't think it is anymore. If it is, go and check, have a look, see. But yeah, so I've got these little cut-outy bits in the back, and obviously if you get the A4 pad, you get slightly bigger pieces and a bit more, because obviously it's bigger. And so it's this navy and gold. Just do a quick flick for you. You can't really see it great, but yeah, just that's the pad anyway. And then that's the A4 one. So the card itself is, as I said, a double panel card, and so it opens up like that, and it stands up nice and easily, and it's really simple to make, and it's also quite good because it's kind of like a flat card. If you make it with thin enough card stock, you can actually make it so it's quite flat. So then it will go through the post, but then when they get it, they've got like a 3D card that pops open. There's all sorts you can do with this, but anyway, let me show you how I made this. Let's get into it. Okay, so for this card, you're going to need one piece of 5x7, and this is not going to get scored, so that just needs to go to one side. And then you're going to need two pieces that are 5x6 inches. And on the 6-inch edge, you want to score it at 1 inch and at 3.5 inches. And you're going to do that on both pieces. Okay, so once you've done that, if you just turn one around, so you've got the 1-inch edge on one side, and on the other side you've got a 1-inch edge. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to do a, we're going to valley fold this one, and we are going to valley fold this one as well. So both of these folds are going to be valley folds. So I'm going to do mine the other way around because the way I've scored it. So you should end up with two pieces that look like that. So what we need to do now is go ahead and add a piece of pattern paper on these two 1-inch pieces. So we need a matte piece that is 7/8 by 4 7/8, and a pattern piece that's 3/4 by 4 3/4. So that's going to go on there like that, and that is going to go on there like that. So you should end up with that. So now we're going to bring in our 5x7 card. If you want to, you can make these slightly smaller. So you can do the mat as a 3/4 inch by 4 3/4, but then it does mean your pattern's only 1/2 inch. So I thought, let me go for a smaller border on those two bits. Right, so what we're going to do now is add some glue or some red tape on the back of that section we've just done. So just on this 1-inch tab here. I'm going to add some glue on here. And then we're going to line that up on this left hand side and stick it so that it's completely lined up with the side of the card, and also make sure it's nice and straight. So you should end up with that. And then you want to go ahead and do the same thing. Just fold this bit back for now, and we want to go and put this piece on here. So once you've stuck them down, you should hopefully end up with those two folded pieces meeting in the middle. If you want to, you can put pattern paper on here. I'm going to leave that blank. And so next up, we just need to get some matte panels. So we're going to start with the one in the middle. So in total, you need 3 pieces of matte that are 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. Then you need one piece of white that's 4.5 by 4.5. We'll just open this upper section a moment. So that's going to go in the middle there. So that's what you end up with. So then if we just fold these over, we also need 2 more pieces of matte that are 4 3/4 by 4 3/4, and then 2 pieces of pattern that are 4.5 by 4.5. And what we're going to do is we're going to put these on. So I've got a gold piece here, and that is going to go on to here like this. one thing I've just realised is I've actually put tape all over the back. So don't do what I've done. So I'm just going to quickly just rectify that, and then I'll be back with you in a moment. Okay, so I just stuck a little piece of plain thin white on the back, so I haven't got to worry about that anymore. So now if we bring this in, what we're going to do is this is going to stick on here. And so obviously you just want a bit of a border, but you only want it around those 3 edges. And then this bit here will pull forwards. Okay, so what I would do is take your piece that you're going to stick on, turn it over, and then you'll know where to glue or tape then. So if I put this here, I can see where my middle line is. So it's kind of like here. And then I can just literally take this, turn it over, and stick it down into place, making sure it lines up along the 3 edges. So that gives you your first flap. And then I'm going to put that in, and I'm going to take this one here, and then we're going to do the exact same thing with the one on the front. So just put that like that. I'm going to turn that over again so I can get it lined up as to where it should go. Don't worry too much about lining it up on this right hand side. You can if you want, but if like me you have a little bit of a gap in the middle where the 2 bits meet, then you will have a bit of a gap. So I won't worry too much, because if your mat is the same colour top and bottom, then you can kind of, you know, it's going to be up anyway. The only time it's going to be flat is when it's in the envelope. So it's not really going to be a big problem. So we're going to go ahead and stick that down. So then you should have a card that opens up like that. So obviously you could have done the same colours, but I wanted different colours just because I've got this scene here, which I think fits quite nicely on the navy. And then I have a Merry Christmas in navy, which I think fits quite nicely on the gold. So I just thought I'd go for 2 different looks. So then we're going to go ahead and just stick these down. And so there you have your finished cards. As you can see, it's super easy to do. You could obviously embellish it way more. Mine's turned out quite chunky, but that's because my mats and my base card are quite chunky. So if you want to make it a little bit slimmer, then just make sure you go a little bit slimmer with your layers. But yeah, really easy to do. Nice and easy, nice flat card, but then it opens up into a nice kind of, you know, reveal. And I think I'd like to try this with some different shapes, so not just with squares. I'd quite like to try some different versions of this, so I think I will be. I also think I might add a couple little sparkly bits just so I've got a little bit of something going on there. So I think I might do that. But yeah, super simple. So don't forget to go and check out my Silent Night paper pads over on Amazon. The digital kit is available, I think, on DRK Crafts. It was available on my Etsy shop, but I don't know if it still is there because it's quite old now. But I will try and make it available in my Ko-fi shop as a digital kit, so you can get it over there. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!